Hello and welcome to MCSN. I'm Freya Dahlgren. The spring semester is coming to a close and Meredith seniors are getting ready to walk across the stage and receive their diplomas. Two ceremonies will be held on Saturday, May 11th, one at 8:30 a.m. and one at 11, in the courtyard area with Johnson Hall as the backdrop. Graduates can choose who they want to sit with. They'll each receive 6 guest tickets and the ceremonies will also be live streamed. This year's commencement will be the last for Dr. Jo Allen. For more than a decade, she's played the biggest role on campus, not only at graduation, but also at all of the traditions and events that Meredith is known for. Joining us now is President Jo Allen. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Allen.
Thank you.
So you've been here at Meredith for 13 years. How does it feel to be wrapping up your last semester?
Well, I always think about it in terms of, I always ask graduating seniors this question, number one. And I always say the best answer they can ever give me is it's bittersweet. You know, they're ready to move on. They're sad to be leaving Meredith, and so it's got that little push and pull. And I would say that's exactly the word that I would use to describe retiring, is it's bittersweet, because I've loved this job. I love these people. I'm so proud of Meredith. And at the same time, I'm ready to relax a little bit and read some books and write some and do different things. So bittersweet is how I would describe it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the new president who will be stepping in, Dr. Amy Sack?
Well, of course, I had nothing to do with the search process or anything like that. So I've just, really gotten to meet her and all that. I think she's fabulous. I think she is going to be just the right next president for Meredith, and I think the campus will love her and all of that, and the alumni will be excited about her. And she understands women's colleges, and I think she has already developed a great affection for Meredith and is excited. So I think she'll be a great leader. I'm excited for her.
I'm glad. What do you consider to be your biggest accomplishment in your time at Meredith?
Certainly a lot of it is, fundraising. I mean, that's like the number one job of a college president these days, that a lot of people don't know is that's really a defining role. It's certainly community building and all that, but in the way of community building, it's also making sure that students want to be here, faculty and staff want to be here, and a lot of that depends on what resources we have for them and what they're surrounded by, and that's where our donors and fundraising become so important. So that we had a campaign a few years, closed in 2018, that we had set a $75 million goal with the hopes of completing that in 7 years. We actually closed it a year early because we'd already raised over $90 million, and you don't want to get piggy, So that's certainly a big part, and actually that's only that's only a small percentage, probably 75% of what we've actually raised. We've raised over $167 million since I've been president, and done all kinds of renovations and upgrades, but also invested in faculty and staff development. We've invested in scholarships for Pete's, just a huge investment for us. Trying to make sure that everybody who wants to be at Meredith can be at Meredith and sees a place for themselves here. So
that's great, yeah. Do you have any advice for the Meredith community during a transition period like this?
Oh, what a great question. Yes, I do. I think, always, give the new person the benefit of the doubt. They're learning, just like we had to learn when we, came to Meredith and figured out the culture and, who was who and who to ask for what and all of that. So, anybody's going to make missteps. But I think, at its heart, Meredith is such a kind community. And so just lean into that as a strength of Meredith, is that sort of kindness, the willingness to talk about where things fit in the Meredith puzzle and all of that. But I would say to her as well, I said, you've got, because of the community you have, you'll be able to trust your colleagues to help you. You'll be able to trust the students who want you to succeed, the alumni who want you to succeed. You're surrounded by a network of people who want you to do well, because that's what benefits us, that's what benefits the college. And so I just say that sort of kindness and helpfulness and all that is really most important, as she's got a really steep learning curve here. So,
yeah. What's next for you?
Oh, well, I've got a couple of things underway. First of all, the Council of Independent Colleges, which is the National Association out of Washington, D.C., is a consortium of college presidents, college and university presidents of private higher ed. And so they've asked me to be their president in residence for a year. I'm only the second one they've ever selected. And it's really interesting because it's not an application process or nomination. They just look and see who's out there that's done a lot in higher education that we'd like to stay connected during their last year of work and last 6 months of work, first 6 months of retirement is usually the way. And so I talk with them every other week about ideas they host a President's Institute in January, and which is a great opportunity for college and university presidents to get together and talk about what are the hot issues of our time and how are we approaching that and preparing and planning and solving problems around it and so forth. So, so we're getting ready for that. So that I'll be in that role until mid-January, really. And I've been working on a book for about 3 years on onboarding a new president. And, you know, it's sort of like students with those papers they have that don't write themselves. Yeah, I've got to actually finish writing it. So I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through. And so I'm really excited to finish it because I think it's helpful, because I think people really, don't know what to expect, especially as a new president. And so thinking about some things early is really a big advantage, but people don't really know what to think about. So it's just too much. So I'm hoping to simplify that a little bit.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to share with the Meredith community here?
Oh, just how very honored I am to have been able to have this role for 13 years. As a Meredith alumna, this place has always been very, very special to me. People asked me what was surprising when I stepped into the presidency here and all that. I said, I think the biggest surprise for me was how really, although I always loved Meredith, how quickly I fell in love with Meredith all over again. And just seeing what a unique place this is, how much people care about student success, how much they care about each other. And it's just, it's an incredible place, and to have the honor of being the first alumna president is always going to be, always stick out in my mind, But just knowing that these are people that, I'm not just leaving a job, I'm leaving a house too, but I'm not leaving friends. And I think that's the great part as an alumna. You're as engaged or not as you want to be, and I'd never want to step in the new president's, in her pathway or anything like that, but I can still be an engaged alumna, and I think that's such a nice lifelong opportunity that really transcends whatever role or title I've had here. So,
thank you again for joining us today and for everything that you have done for the Meredith community.
Thank you.
We wish you nothing but the best in your next adventure.
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Dr. Amy Sapp will serve as Meredith College's 9th president. She will start the job on July 1st. As a member of the class of 2024, this is also my last show. It has been an honor serving as your first anchor and executive producer of MCSN. I'm proud to pass on the torch to the next incredible group of student journalists at Meredith. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks for watching. We wish you a wonderful summer break, and we'll see you back here in the fall.